Welcome to CEC Gurukul lectures. In the series of financial accounting, today we are going to begin a new topic, that is accounting process. In accounting process, this particular topic we are going to cover about what is accounting process, what is the meaning of account, classification of account, that is traditional classification we are going to discuss, what are the rules which are applicable for debit and credit, what is the meaning and format of journal we are going to discuss here, compound journal entries, opening entries and goods account. So in today's topic we are going to cover all these subtopics. To begin with, accounting process. Let me first explain you what is accounting process, which is also known as accounting cycle. The accounting process is a series of activities that begins with the transactions. So basically accounting process, this begins with the transaction and this ends with the closing of the books. Because this process is repeated each reporting period, it is referred to as accounting cycle, and it includes journalizing, posting in the ledger, balancing of accounts, then preparation of trial balance, and then finally financial statements are prepared, and this financial statements includes income statement, which is trading and P&L account, and balance sheet, which is prepared at the end of the year to know about the position of a business. Let me explain you in this accounting process in detail. The first step in the accounting process is to identify an analysis of business transaction. Any transaction which have financial impact on the organization, first identified, then analysis, and then recorded accordingly. The second step in the accounting process is journalizing, which we are going to discuss today. So what is journalizing? The process of recording the transaction. First you have to identify the transaction, whether that transaction can be measured in terms of money or not, or whether that transaction related to business or not. So the first step is to identify the transaction. After identifying the transaction, you have to record that transaction in the journal, and that thing is known as journalizing, and the entry made in the journal is called journal entry. Entry which is done in the books of journal is known as a journal entry. And the next step is ledger posting. After the preparation of journal or subsidiary books, you have to do the ledger posting of transactions from journal to ledger. So the process of transferring the transactions from journal or subsidiary books to the ledger is known as a ledger posting. Let me explain you here what is subsidiary books. Subsidiary books I have already explained you in the previous lecture. Journal is generally prepared by those organizations where the volume of the transaction is very low, but where the volume of the transaction is quite high, there journal is not prepared, subsidiary books are kept. So from journal or subsidiary books, ledger posting or ledgers are prepared. After ledger posting and balancing of accounts, trial balance is prepared, as its name reveals. This trial balance is a summary of ledger accounts. This is prepared from the help of this ledger balances, and this trial balance is prepared to know about the arithmetical accuracy of the books of accounts. This checks only arithmetical accuracy. If there is some error, that is two-sided error, that will be detected by the trial balance, but if there is some error, that is a single-sided error, that would not be detected by the trial balance. So trial balance is a summary of accounts which is prepared after taking the balances of ledger accounts. After the preparation of trial balance, the next step is adjustment entries. And adjustment entries means you have to identify as some transaction, if there is some transaction which is unrecorded or omitted, or if there is some error into the books of account, you have to adjust that. And after the adjustment entry, the final step is financial preparation of financial statements, and the financial statement means income statement which show the net results of business activities during the year, and the position statement, which is balance sheet, which shows the position of a business on a particular date. Now let's come to the account. Generally we talk about account, we have to prepare account. What do you mean by account? An account is a formal record of relevant transactions at one place relating to a particular item. For example, all the transactions related to purchase, if you have purchased goods for cash, if you have purchased goods for credit, so all those transactions which are pertaining with the cash will be recorded under one account, and that account will be known as purchase account. All the items which are related with the cash, all the transactions which you have done in cash will be recorded under one account, and that will be known as a cash account. This record is kept in a book called ledger. This book where these accounts are kept, that book is known as a ledger. The number of accounts, how many accounts you have to prepare in an organization, this depends upon the size of the organization. So this is the format of account. Account is always prepared in the T format. On the left side there are 4 columns, and the left side is known as the debit side, and this debit is abbreviated with the term DR. And on the right side there are again 4 columns, date, particulars, JF. JF stands for journal folio. And on the right side, this right side is known as a credit side, and this is abbreviated with the term CR. Now we classify accounts on the basis of traditional approach. We are doing the traditional approach only, as throughout accounting we are going to study this only. So according to the traditional approach, accounts is classified into 3 categories: personal account, real account, and nominal account. There are 3 types of accounts. Again, this personal account is classified into 3 parts, that is natural personal account, artificial personal account, and representative personal account. So there are 3 type of person: natural person, any natural person, any Ram, Shyam, Mohan, that is known as a natural person; artificial person, any legal entity; representative person, group of person which represents something, group of persons. So I am explaining you here. So personal account is accounts which are related to individual firms, companies, cooperative societies, banks, financial institutions are known as personal accounts. All type of persons comes under personal account, whether it is a human being or any company, any bank, anyone, all type of person comes under personal account. So we classify this personal account into 3 categories. The first one is natural personal account. So accounts of any individual, Ram, Shyam, Mohan, Jatin, Gaurav, any individual comes under the list of natural person. The next one is artificial person. Artificial person, this includes the accounts of firms, companies like Wipro, TCS, that comes in the list of artificial personal account. Representative personal account, when an account represents a certain person or persons, it is called a representative account, like outstanding salary, prepaid expense, accrued income, capital, drawings. This comes under the list of representative personal account. So in a nutshell, all type of person, whether it is a natural person or artificial person or representative person, all type of person comes under personal account. The next type of account is real account. In real account, it is related with assets or properties. So real account includes all type of assets, whether it is current assets or it is fixed assets. So real account is further classified into tangible real account or intangible real account. Real account in tangible real account, let me first explain you what is tangible asset. As I have already explained you in the previous lectures, that tangible assets are those assets which can be touched or seen. Tangible real accounts are those accounts which relate to tangible assets like land and building, plant and machinery, cash account, stock account. These comes under the list of tangible real account. Intangible real account, Intangible assets are those assets which cannot be touched or seen. So intangible real accounts are those accounts which are related to these intangible assets, and intangible examples of the intangible assets are goodwill, patent, copyright. These are the example. So basically all type of assets comes under this real account, all type of assets. The third type of account is nominal account. The account relating to income, expenses, losses and gains are classified as nominal account. So all type of expenses, losses, income, gains comes under this nominal account. Now these are the rules for debit and credit. Whenever we have to pass, we talked about that we have to pass the entry in the books of general. So is there any rule for passing the general entry? Yes, according to the traditional approach, there are certain rules for the debit and credit. I have explained you about this personal account. There are three types of account, that is personal account, real account and nominal account. So there are some rules also for doing the journal entry, and according to the personal account, the rule of personal account is debit the receiver, credit the giver. You have to debit the receiver, and whosoever is the giver, you have to credit him. Rule of real account says debit what comes in and credit what goes out. Whatever is coming into the business, you have to debit that, and whatever is going out of the business, you have to credit that. Nominal account, in nominal account what comes? All type of expenses, losses, income and gains are classified under nominal account, and the rule of nominal account says debit all expenses and losses, credit all income and gains. So these are the rules of journal entry. Let's come to the journal. What is journal? A journal is a book in which transactions are recorded in the order in which they occur, that is in a chronological order. A journal is called a book of original entry. Why it is called a book of original entry? Because all the transactions are recorded in this book first. All the transactions they are recorded in this book first. That's why this book is known as a book of original entry. The process of recording a transaction is called journalizing, and the entry made in the books of journal is known as a journal entry. And what are the rules of passing the journal entry? Those rules I have just explained you. This is the format of journal. So it begins with the date. You have to record the date of the transaction, then particulars. In particulars column, I have explained you, I have written, you have to write the name of the item, then DR. DR represent debit, and instead of writing credit, what we do, we write 2. Instead of writing credit, what we write only 2. And the next column is ledger folio. Ledger folio, this column is filled only at the time of ledger posting, not at the time of doing journal entries. The other 2 columns are of debit and credit. Remember this thing always, whatever amount you are writing in the column of debit, the same amount would be shown in the column of credit. Means both the columns would be same. If you are writing 5,000 in the column of debit, the same amount will be shown in the credit column. So these 2 columns will be equal. Now, what are the steps in journalizing? The first step in journalizing, what you have to do, you have to ascertain what accounts are involved in a transaction. What accounts are involved in a transaction? I am giving an example here, like business started with cash. This is a transaction. So in this transaction, which accounts are involved? Cash. Cash is invested into the business. So cash, and owner has invested cash into the business, and whenever owner is investing cash into the business, that is always depicted with the name, with the term capital. So 2 accounts are affected here, cash and capital. The second step, ascertain what is the nature of accounts involved. In this particular transaction, cash, that is an asset, and all type of assets comes under real account, and whereas capital is representing whom? Capital is representing person whom this capital is representing owner, and owner is a person, and all type of persons comes under personal account. So you have to identify the nature of accounts involved. Here two accounts are involved, one is real and one is personal. After identifying the nature of accounts, you have to identify which rules are applicable. As I've already explained you, there are certain rules for passing the journal entry. So according to the nature of accounts, you have to apply the rules which are applicable. After this, you have to ascertain what accounts is to be debited and which account is to be credited. You have to record the date of transaction in the date column. Then you have to write the name of the accounts to be debited and credited in the particulars column, and finally you have to write the description of the this journal entry, that is narration. You have to write for what purpose, for what reason you are doing this entry. Let's take an example. That business started with cash, so you have done the entry cash account debit to capital. You have done this entry, and after the completion of this journal entry, you have to write the narration. So that is a basically brief description. So you'll write business started with cash. General, let's take some more examples. These are the examples, and you have to analyze these transactions, that is rent paid, interest received, purchase of furniture, machinery sold in cash, outstanding salaries paid to Rakesh. So what you have to do first, the first transaction is rent paid. The first thing which you have to do, you have to identify which two accounts or more than, it might be possible there are more than two accounts are involved. So you have to identify which accounts are involved in this. When you are paying rent is either paid in cash or by check. So when you are paying rent is an expense, so rent is affected, and if you are paying rent in cash, then cash is also affected. So two accounts are affected here. One is rent, which is an expense, and cash, which cash is also affected, which is an asset. Rent, which is an expense, comes under nominal account, because I have just explained you all type of expenses, losses, income and gains comes under nominal account. So rent comes under nominal account. What is the nature of account? Rent is comes under this nominal account, and cash, which is an asset, this comes under all type of assets I have explained you, comes under real account. So now you have identified which two accounts are applicable here. So here two accounts are applicable, one is nominal account and one is real account. Now for passing the journal entry, you have to apply the rules for debit and credit. On nominal account, rule says debit all expenses and losses, credit all income and gains. So rent is an expense, so what you have to do, you have to debit this. Since rent is an expense and the rule of nominal account is debit all expenses and losses, so rent would be debited. Cash, come to the cash is as an asset, and all type of assets comes under real account, and the rule of real account says debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So whenever we are paying rent, what is happening here? Cash is going out. So cash is an asset, and this asset comes under the list of real account. All type of assets comes under this real account, and the rule of real account say debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So cash is going out, so you have to credit this item. In the next transaction, which is interest received. Interest received is what? Interest we are receiving in cash. So cash is coming, and cash is asset. All type of assets comes under real account. When we are receiving interest is what? Interest is income for us. So interest, all type of income and gains comes under nominal account, and the rule of real account and nominal account, real account says debit what comes in. When we are receiving interest, so we are receiving cash, so cash is coming in, so we have to debit according to the rule of real account, which says debit what comes in. And since interest is an income for you, all type of incomes comes under nominal account, and the rule of nominal account says you have to credit all income and gains, debit all expenses and losses, credit all income and gains. So this interest will be credited. So entry in this case will be cash account debit, since you are receiving cash, and 2 interest because of this nominal account rule. The next transaction is purchase furniture for cash. You have purchased furniture. When you are purchasing furniture, what is coming? Furniture is an asset, and all type of assets comes under the list of real account. So what you have to do, according to the real account, this furniture would be debited. And when you are purchasing furniture, cash is going out. When the cash is going out, cash is an asset, and cash, when the cash is asset, though this asset, all type of assets comes under the list of real account. So here in this particular transaction, only one account is applicable, that is real account. So the real account says, rule of real account says, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So when you are purchasing furniture, what is happening? When you are purchasing furniture, furniture is coming, which is asset, and another asset, which is a cash is going out. So here rule of real account is applicable, and that rule says debit what comes in, furniture is coming in, that would be debited, and cash is going out, and that would be credited. The next example is machinery sold in cash. Let's take some more transactions. These are the some transaction with the value I have written here. The first transaction is given, Rohit started business with cash. Who is Rohit? Rohit is the owner of the business. So according to the separate entity concept, see, separate entity concept will be applied here. According to this concept, this concept said that owner is treated separately from its business. So whenever any transaction is done by the owner, will be recorded from the point of view of the business only, not from the point of view of the owner. So according to this concept, this transaction will be recorded, will be shown as follows, like owner has invested cash into the business. So which 2 accounts are affected here? One is cash and the another is capital. So cash is asset, all type of assets comes under real account. The rule of real account is applicable here, and the rule of real account says debit what comes in. So cash is coming into the business, so you have debited that. And all type of persons, who's the person, who's the giver here? Owner, and we are representing owner with the name capital. Whenever he is investing something into the business, that will be represented with the name capital, not with his name. So that is represented with the name capital, and this comes under the list of this personal account. And the rule of the personal account says debit the receiver, credit the giver. Who's the giver? Owner, and owner is represented with what name? Capital. The entry will be cash account debit, and here real account, rule of real account is applicable to capital account, and in the capital account, rule of personal account is applicable. The next transaction is goods purchase on credit. When you have purchased goods on credit, what is happening here? That goods are coming in, and when you are purchasing goods on credit, we are not paying cash to him. Your creditor is created. You have to record from whom you have purchased the goods, because in future you have to pay him money. So Mohit is your creditor. So which 2 accounts are affected here? Purchase, that comes under the list of nominal account, and the rule of nominal account is debit all expenses and losses. And Mohit is a person, and all type of persons comes under the list of personal account, and the rule of the personal account is debit the receiver and credit the giver. So 2 accounts are applicable here. One is nominal account for the purchase account, and for Mohit account, personal account rule is applicable, which says debit the receiver and credit the giver. The next transaction is goods sold for cash. When you have sold goods for cash, what's coming into the business? Cash is coming into the business. So when cash is coming, cash is an asset, and all type of assets come under the rule of real account. So the rule of real account is debit what comes in, and sales that comes in. Sales is your what? Sales, your goods are going out. So according to this, you have to credit this transactions. So thank you so much everyone. That's all for today. and we'll be discussing some more transactions, some special transactions in the upcoming lectures regarding to the journal entries only. Thank you so much everyone.